I can't say this wasn't coming. I can't say this wasn't coming. I have a video later talking about the fact that when this was a 30-point game, some non kind of basketball things might have like overshadowed some of the basketball things, if you get me. Like the what the commentators were doing might have overshadowed just how bad Iowa were. Lads, Iowa, this has been coming for Iowa. Iowa were terrible against Michigan. Michigan were terrible too. I called that through three quarters the worst game of basketball I've ever watched. And everybody in the comments section being like, oh no, it was just a defensive masterclass. No, it wasn't. Both teams were terrible. What Iowa are good at doing, and this is one thing people don't understand, the only thing Iowa are good at is dragging teams down to their level. And if a team is too good that they can't drag them down to their level, like a UCLA, like a UConn, heck, even Iowa State, they couldn't drag Iowa State down to their level. It is a massacre. This Iowa team is I hate saying this, it is anti-basketball. They are the worst, one of the worst teams to watch. People are like, oh, but they were 21st in the nation in points per game. It's like, yeah, because when they're a really good defensive team and they're able to get out in transition, and when they play bad defensive teams, they're able to pass the ball, they're able to get those high lows with ease and chit-chat and hit open threes. As any competent team, all you have to do is allow Hannah Stuelke or Ava Hayden catch the ball in the high post, stand 4 feet off them, and play the passing lane. And I'm not joking. The Iowa team would rather pass you the ball than shoot. They would rather pass you the ball than shoot an open shot. This entire Iowa team would rather pass the opponents the ball than create anything. And UCLA were just better than them. They were just much better than them. Like, Lauren Betts checked out. I turned it off when Lauren Betts was checking in. It was like a 30-point game and 51 when Lauren Betts was finally checking out. Like, Betts played 24 minutes. Their best player played 24 minutes. Like, Iowa played chit-chat 36. Hayden, again, 5 turnovers between them. It's better than the 10 yesterday from their two bigs. But, like, Iowa, I talk about this a little bit later. Because I taught a video, I'm going to keep it up, release it anyway, about the commentators. And I talk a little bit about the game. But, like, Iowa would rather let teams hold them to 40 points than adjust. Like, they literally were like, okay, what are UCLA bad at? Okay, what are they elite at? They are elite rim protection if you allow Lauren Betts in the paint. What do you have to do? Okay, tactically, what do you have to do to beat UCLA? You need to drag Lauren Betts out of the paint. What did Iowa do? They let Lauren Betts sit in the paint. They didn't make her try to guard the PN, or they didn't make her do anything. They just let her sit there. They let her sit there. So you've got that, and then you've got on the other end, UCLA just getting whatever they want. Like, I will never question the work rate of Iowa. I will never question what Jan Jensen's been able to do in terms of, like, getting players on board and their togetherness and everything. But I will question Jan Jensen's basketball decisions, and I have every time I've watched this team play against a good team. Because they are good defensively. They work their asses off. But they are, I will say this, for the talent they have, the worst offensive team I've ever seen. I have never seen a team that has the talent of an Ava Hayden, a Chit-Chat Wright, a Addie Deal be this bad on offense. And like, Addie Deal had 11 points because Addie Deal can do something. Like, Addie Deal got shoved to the end of the bench when she's one of the only players that can do something. I remember during the Iowa State game, I recorded that one live. It's my last live stream. You can watch through that. I'm literally like, everyone in this Iowa team is scared to do anything. I'm like, all they have to do is put Audie Crooks in the pick and roll with Chit Chat and they'll score every time. But they're so dead set on either running, at the time they were exclusively running the triangle, and then they moved from the triangle to give the ball to a big in the high post and dump it into the high-low. Like, it's not 2014 anymore. Not only that, like, there are times and places for that. Yes, if you've got the size mismatch. If you've got the size mismatch, go for the high-low. But you don't have the size mismatch. Why are you forcing the high-low? Like, why are you forcing shit? Why are you not trying to exploit Lauren Betts and the one thing she's bad at? The one thing she's bad at, which is guarding pick and roll on the defensive end. Like, if you let Lauren Betts sit in the paint, she's going to look like the best defensive player in the country. Heck, that's just college coaches, because Tierra McCown won a defensive player of the year in college. She is maybe the worst defensive player in the WNBA. Like, Lauren Betts is just pure size. I was impressed with Sienna Betts. I am impressed with Sienna Betts. The number one recruit over Chavez or Jazzy Davidson? Hell no. Griffin should be freshman of the year. Like, it should be neither of them. Like, far from the best freshman. But I was impressed by Sienna Betts. It's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens when Dugalich, Kiki Rice, Ledger Walker, Hackways, Neepkins, and Betts are all gone. Like, I don't know what's going to happen when their entire team is gone next year. But at the same time, like, you've now got a situation with UCLA where, for me, they go in as the favourites. But this was an embarrassing loss by Iowa. I don't care how good UCLA are. It is the biggest defeat ever suffered by a team in the top 10. Ever suffered. The biggest defeat ever. And Iowa getting to this championship game is great. But, like, to say they rolled over is an understatement. And I don't know. I said, okay, maybe Iowa. That's a funny one, because there's teams that are ranked lower than Iowa, like Oklahoma, LSU. Like, when it's all said and done, will be lower seeds that we give a puncher's chance to. Like, where is Iowa in the country? I've been saying for the whole year, their actual level, they're about the 15th to the 20th best team in the country. And it's funny, because of the way the rankings are, people are going to expect them to make it to, and the expectation is they're going to have to play Oklahoma in the Sweet 16. And I'm like, that could be one of those, like, games where there is an expectation on them to win, and I don't see how they beat Oklahoma. They got pummeled by 30 last year, and Oklahoma are better. I don't see how they're able to do that. Look, what Iowa have done this year is impressive. They have overperformed their ability just due to defense and hustle. But offensively, it is an embarrassingly bad offense. It is. Like, if you want to look at Iowa, let's look at Iowa against good teams. For anyone being like, oh no, they're actually good offensively, let's look at them against good teams. So, 59 points. They had, how many times Iowa have had less than 40 points going into the fourth quarter in their last two games? 64 points against Illinois. 62 in a win against Michigan, and nearly all that was in the fourth quarter. They were I'm pretty confident they were in the 30s going into the fourth, and they just scored, they were in the 40s going into the fourth in this game. They had 65 in a win here. They had 65 in a loss against UCLA. They just couldn't stop USC. They had, in fairness, 91 against Ohio State was a really big one. But even if you're looking at some of these ones early in the year, they're big games. They had 69 points, and that included a huge fourth quarter comeback. Like, they were hardly scoring at all. And even in some of their wins, like, they had 57 in their win against Baylor. It's a team that has struggled to score against good teams. And people are still, like, hands in their ears saying la 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 anytime someone wants to point out the fact that this offense is embarrassingly bad. Like, it is literally give the ball to Hannah Stolke, throw the ball to Ava Hayden. If that's not on, throw the ball to the other team. Like, that is their offense. That is their offense. Like, they turned the ball over 19 times. 19 times. However, people being like, oh yeah, look, Michigan were just too physical. And it's like, okay, if another team is being overly physical with you, then find a way of scoring that isn't dumping the ball inside to a player who's being surrounded by 5 players. But they can't. They can't because they got nothing else. And it's a pity. They really need to go. And the one good thing is that Wilichko can actually shoot the midi. She can shoot that mid-range shot. So in the high-low, Wilichko and Hayden, she can shoot it. That being said, it's still not a good outcome at all. A 51-point loss.